Hello, hello, hello. Hello, is it clear for you to hear my voice? Hello, hello. Yeah, if you can hear, you can just tell me via the chatting box. Our sharing will definitely get start within 1 minute. So if you can hear my voice, so is it clear for you to see the screen? So you can just tell me in the chatting box, and we will just directly go to the topic. Okay, within 1 minute. Okay, okay. So, hello, here's Jackie speaking, and it's glad to share this topic. And also, one of my very favorite function of Coohom is the custom modeling. And today we are going to talk about something related to this very creative tool, right? Because previously, when you use the tool, maybe you will find something really hard to, for example, to create or to build via our advanced tool like kitchen and bath, or even sometimes really hard to create in the for example, the floor, ceiling, wall editor. If it is really hard to find the creation, if it is the boundary, so you can try this custom modeling. And also, some of you already raised some of the question is related. Sorry, it's related to the difference between the material component and the custom modeling. So today I will also talk something about this, okay, the difference. Actually, if you want to have a very uh, free freely the freely creation, the maximum freely creation in our tool, you'd better try the custom modeling. That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. And also you'd better have a concept in mind is that actually in our material and component, these two, okay, I share here to you, these two tools, okay, they are sometimes feel like the competitors, feeling like the competitors. Once you turn to the material component, you may not be able to see the custom modeling. Yeah, you may not be able to see the custom modeling. And also that's the same when you turn to custom modeling, those you create in material component will disappear. So just pay attention to that, okay? But after all, if you just create all the things and directly turn to the random, it's fine. It's totally fine. You can see both. So just pay attention about the difference. And also, even for the kitchen and bath, okay? Sometimes if you really want to create something, just like the last topic, last time I share in this YouTube channel, when you want to build some of the curved island, the island countertop, you using the custom modeling still, you can see the basic of the kitchen unit. So just pay attention the those able to see or not able to see. So let's directly turn to the custom modeling. And here you will see actually in this tool, we offer one of the way that you can directly create based on the case. Yeah, because last time they are, they, there was still few questions related to the custom modeling, but shows here, okay, in my account upload, and Some of you really asked the question before about the custom modeling. Is it exactly the same? Is it exactly the same? Actually not. Yeah. Some of you last time even don't know, even didn't know about this. Yeah. In my account, uploading custom. Yeah, still we have a kind of a tool that's quite similar to the custom modeling, but this one is just independently to let you create something. It's not related to the entire case. Today we will mainly talk about this custom modeling because actually they are share these two tools they share exactly the same logic, just different scenarios. So once you know how to use the custom modeling, then you will find it's easier for using sometimes, okay, to create something independently and reuse. So let's turn back to the custom modeling. Okay, so in this tool, you can see actually we still have the modeling library, but these are not the same. Here we have something just just like the preset, okay, pre-build some the elements that pre-build. Of course, we can use the 3D text and also some of the shapes, the component to help you to get a quick creation. But just pay attention about this base model. When you turn to, for example, turn something here, it's just like the parametricized model, the custom models. Yeah, that's the truth. And then if you convert it, you can also directly use. Okay, so this is something really basic to use, just like the parametric models. Yeah, the first level, the logic. And when it turns to more complicated, okay, the segment, here we got the scenario-based model. For example, some stairs, sometimes if you ever use the Coohom to build up the villa, yes, that's also here, like the different pre-built scenario models. Later we will talk about something, yeah, to control and really helpful functions or the logic of using this tool. I will also introduce to you. Yeah, it's really helpful for us to get some quick buildings. Yeah. And the second, of course, material, just related to the real-time material library. Yes, we can also have this. Even this time, of course, here I use my enterprise account. If you have that, you may have the me, which actually relate to your creations. Yeah, that's also the area that we can put some of the elements. When we do some finish some drawing, finish some editings, and then we need to have the material, the surface to put at the surface, right? So this is the material library. And the final thing is the private model. Of course, here you have some model you want to use, you can upload or even import SU file. Later, I will also tell you something related to this. Yeah, this tool indeed actually it's a kind of plugin or that advanced tool quite similar to the SketchUp. Yeah, quite similar to the position is quite similar to the SketchUp. Yeah, for you to get a free creation. And here actually we have the toolbar. Here the file you see just now we talked about, yeah, you upload if you want to use some of the very complicated or complex component the models or something that you already built in the third-party tool, okay, upload as the SU file. You can import here and then to ungroup them to use. Later I will show you. I prepare one of the model. And also this is the way that you can uh, reuse. You see here, this is reusing. If you want to make this component can be reused again, you can put it import here. But if you just currently want to upload something, use the file. You can get the import. For example, the SVU file, the CAD file. CAD file is just like the normal component, just like this, but it's without they without the parametric index. You just need to import the CAD file. It's a kind of a normal shape. And also you can import the SU file. Most of the time you directly use or you need to do some modification, you can ungroup them. Yeah, I will show you this one. And also even for image file, something like, for example, just a surface without any thickness. Yeah, without thickness, you just need to import. Yeah, you can import the file as well. Okay, save is easy, undo, redo, clear, anything. So that's quite easy. Okay, later I will show you some scenario that we can build. And here the main toolbars here. See, you can just this one is selection is fine. Okay, select path, select things. Later I will talk about it. Okay, eraser easy to understand. Just delete something. You can also use the delete in on your keyboard. And here the main, okay, the main shape, the main tool here. We have line, we have the curved lines. Okay, the zero curved lines, and we have the rectangle, circle, polygon, something related to this. Okay, the curved line I will talk more, but for lines it's really easy. When you go drawing, you see here we got this axis, different direction. If you put the dot, okay, if you put the dot here, you can see, you can feel that it's really strong auto snap to the boundary. Yeah, it's a kind of good help. By the way, our latest updating turns out to be, for example, here, display model. Now we can also use the material plus wireframe model. I personally really suggest that you use this one because you can see clearly, yeah, for the boundary, not only the exist, but also your drawing as well. And also for just now we talk about uh, the auto snap. If you really don't want to use it here, you can enable or disable the snap model or this. Okay, the default settings or select it. Okay, I think it's fine, right? Till now, yeah. I think, yeah, is anything wrong or anything different from my side to your side, you can also tell me. And also, if you want, if you have any questions, you can also try to describe. Okay, so here I will show you, for example, the basic drawing for line. Okay, my personal suggestion for lines, you either draw from the boundary, draw on the surface, or you need to use this one, the reference line. Okay, here in order to let you see better, I turn back to the material, and then you can see when you want to draw something, it's also gonna auto snap. Yeah, 90 degree, and even for the different, for example, the vertical way, you can also see. So click and continually to click, and here you can see the length. Okay, so actually for line drawing, what we need to concern is the two things, right? The only two things. First, direction. Second, how long is it? For example, you can just type in numbers and continue drawing. You can feel a really strong auto snap, so you don't have to worry about. So this is some line drawing. And also just pay attention about the different position you see. See here, you have the moving model. The default setting is the moving model. And also you can change, for example, the only directions or the scales or the compose, the combinations of the changes. Yeah, these are some very basic drawing. And if you want, of course, faster rectangle, just click and click here. Then you have, you see, lines. When we use the lines drawing, you have to just rely on some exact surface. But if you turn to the rectangle, you will see actually we do have different directions, right? Any place, or just turn to XY. You see, whatever you go here, once you click, wherever you go, you just click that. You can only draw in one direction, one surface. And then when your mouse moving, it will rely on the third angle, the third axis. So that's why here we can get it well controlled. Okay, just pay attention about the different direction is fine. So pay attention about some of the current showing on the sub toolbar here. Yeah, you have so many. Yeah, you have so many functions that will show the second a secondary toolbar, so you need to pay attention about that. And if you're talking about the circle or the arc and also polygon included, my personal suggestion is to pay attention about this. You see, once you draw something, okay, let me just draw it on the surface. You see here, the default setting of one shape, okay, is the number of edges. The phrase is only got 24. It's really limited, you see. And when you finish drawing, you can see, wow, there are so many different edges. It looks not so good, right? So what can we do here? Whatever it goes, circle or arc, the same, okay? So once you draw, use the table button. See, table, tab. Yeah, the tab button, change to the number of edges, and you can turn to 60. For example, 1060, and you can draw a very round, but still they are in phrases. But it's fine if you want to draw more precise. Why is 60 the maximum? Yes. In our tool, 60 phrases, the segment, is the maximum index. So just pay attention about it. Yeah, later it is really helpful. Okay, this index is really helpful. Arc, the same, still the same, see? But since for the arc, you see here, actually, it's part of the circle, part of the round. So the number of edges, if it's really up to your device, the ability of your device. Sometimes if you feel like, okay, my computer, my laptop is quite slow, then I don't suggest you just turn to 60. Sometimes if you, for example, you want to do for example, the function like the swap or the push or pull, or sometimes, yeah, frequently in swap, it will be really a challenge for your device. So my suggestion, just control the number of edges. For example, 30 to 40 is enough actually. For the viewing side, 40 is already enough. Yeah, frequently I use 35, and you won't see that difference. See, you won't see that difference. Yeah, it's really smooth. And also you can see actually for the surface, you can also directly to move. That's something we'll talk about is like the advantage in the custom modeling, because I'm not sure if you remember the material component, that tool, yeah, the dictionary for the finishings, the material component. You can't directly just drag and then to move. You need to cook something like the move. Yeah, using the moving to change. So this is really helpful. And also we can use the different, for example, the different angles. You see, angles, and even the dots. Yes, some of you really don't know. Some of you really don't know we can use like this. You can definitely change the dot and then to change the exact the positions, exact shape. So you can use this, okay? And even something like this one, load up, and it automatically turn to two triangle, okay? If you want to delete lines is fine. Click delete the line, okay? And what's more, when you go to the swimming pool, see, when you want to move, you can also see the all connected lines. They can be also adjustable according. So this is the function, okay, we talked about in our advantages comparing to the material component, because in that tool you can't do like this. So just pay attention about that connections. You see here the changing. If you want to delete that, holding down shift button, okay, holding down shift button, click, okay, randomly click one surface, holding down shift button, double click, And now they're all selected. And once you select that, group them up, of course, rotate as the whole unit, or you can just delete. Yeah, and also if it is hiding away something, you can just use the hide or connect faces. Wow. Well, that's really a kind of a useful function. Yeah, duplicate I won't talk about too much. Okay, so just pay attention about the very basic. And also we have the curve line. If you're really interested in using that, later I can show you in this kind of a demo. This is some demo. Next time I will tell you how to do that. That's the curve style. So you can see actually you can draw some of the shape. You can also use the different lines. Later I will talk about this. Yeah, this kind of curve, the double curve. You see the changing. I can also tell you how to do it. So before that, you can get a really roughly using of this surface. Yeah, and then also you can see it's not only push and pull. You can just type in exact numbers here to control push and pull, and also sweep. Okay, sweep, sweep, and offset. I believe you know what is it, right? Offset is really easy. Sweep, and then go with more precise. And here, if you want to, for example, I don't want to duplicate that, you can click and here copy. My personal preference is about using the duplicate rather than move because sometimes moving I can't directly see if it is auto snap. You see, sometimes when you put your mouse, sometimes if you put your mouse here, it's okay for the endpoint, but still here it also shows endpoint. By the way, maybe I just select the wrong position and put into wrong point, so it's sometimes it's helpless. So my suggestion using the copy because here you can see I can directly see if it is touching to the correct position and then copy to the proper area. You can see still now my mouse moving with the exact distance. Okay, so just pay attention. For example, duplicate 1 point, 2 point, and now you see here the new surface combined, and here you can click the line, do the deleting. So when there is anything, okay, for example, when there are two surface, here you got two different regions of the surface. They share exact the same line, the connection. So once they join together, you can delete the line without delete the whole surface. Okay, but if you turn to this, see why it delete? Because here, you see, it's hiding away because that line is hiding here. Just now, it's hiding beneath it. So if you really want to have the relation, okay, so you'd better still turn back to continually to use the offset, yeah, and with a certain index. Sometimes if you don't know where to put, you can use the reference line. Yeah. Reference line to borrow any join, okay, the join the lines to the boundaries, to the boundaries. You can have a quick button to the boundaries, and then still you go with the offset, click, okay, click and put, and you will see. Of course, the best solution still relies on this one, okay, the measure. You can, of course, you can directly use the reference line to measure out. For example, here we got this, and continually offset. Then you see here the offset function. When your mouse turn out, you will see here offset distance with a minus. within, that's that's not the minus. Okay, so just pay attention about that, the direction different. And now you can have the new shape or new function. And also don't forget here, actually my suggestion, sometimes if you really want to continue with the ahead of the thing is, we still have the function, okay, using shift to duplicate selection, get the push and pull. You can go together, let them go together, okay. And also you see, because it's borrowed to the top, don't forget every time, don't forget to return back the surface. Yeah, return back the surface, because what you use is just using that surface moving to create that. So just pay attention about, if you use the push and pull from one surface, just remember to check if there's gap, or if there's any gap or just empty there. Yeah. If it is, duplicate, or even more simple way to use the line to give back. Sometimes, okay, but for this curve, you need to duplicate. So just pay attention about this. Point to point, and it's done. Yeah. So by this way, you can also use, for example, where everything stick. Sometimes, for example, if you want to build up the cabinet, the base unit of the cabinet, something, just take example, okay, something like this one, and you can use for example the rectangle to draw, but actually my suggestion, I think I would like to have something more simple. For example, I want to draw a tall unit, let's say here, using the offset directly. First you get a boundary 20, 18, yeah, millimeter. Now you have that, but that's not the end. And you can use the rectangle, just now we've talked about, right? Use the rectangle. For one independent area, it's easy to draw, or it's easy to draw. But how about for the continual using, right? Or how about if I want to separate this line to the different phrases. So here, if you want, you can click, okay. You can also use the split, and this function will allows us, see, I've used this line, okay, split allows us to separate them, okay, even, okay. For example, 4 faces or 5, move your mouse, directly move your mouse, okay. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 different lines, okay. And then you can also directly draw them, or for example, using reference line as well to mark out one. Okay, see, still auto snap endpoint. And here, my suggestion is not directly draw onto it. Why? Because I also want the distance, let's say 9, from this edge to the edge. And here, when I go drawing, this is one independent, and also continually with the here the line, reference line, get the 9 mm more. Okay, so this time I will continue use, you see, the linear array. If you ever try the function in the design ceiling, you will know the linear array for the downline spotlight, right? This still the same. Click linear array, okay. And if you feel like it's hard to control, here also we have the button called the 2D, 3D view. Just click randomly at one area and click 2D. Yeah, you will see clearly. Okay, and then click the point, click this area, linear, from prime to point, okay? And number, of course, you don't have to put that much, so 3. Okay. So after that, turn back 3D. 2D, 3D is still the same. And now you will see, okay? So if you don't want it, you just clear all the reference line. Now you see actually we have the areas, 1 area, okay, 2 area, 3 area. But before you want to change the precise detail, ungroup them. Yeah, really, really, really important. Ungroup them. Then you can change them. Then you can change them as the independent surface. Okay, as the independent surface. You see. Now what you need to do is just to select the lines that you can separate them, okay, and to drag. So just holding click and change, and you can see. And of course, if you want to save more time, you don't have to draw from there. It will be much easier if you want directly to draw the shelf. So I just show you the linear on the surface here. Yeah, remember ungroup, and then you can control. Remember the ungroup. Or if you want, you can directly using this. It will be easier. For example, drawing out. Still first, give that shape, and then directly using some rectangle. Remember X, Y, yes. So sometimes my suggestion, if you want to directly draw inside, maybe it's okay, but sometimes if it is really hard to control. For example, once you put anything change, you see they are connected. So my suggestion, if you really want to do that, put on the other side. Yeah, put outside. First you draw one exactly same shape, and then outside changing. For example, 18. Yeah, and then holding down Shift button, move them up, and then directly turn to the point. And for about this point, of course, the best solution, for example, is to click and to give, for example, the position, exact position. Here I just using that dot. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't want this can be bothered. So split, for example, here, duplicate. Yeah, drawing outside, give a thickness group, and then duplicate 1, 6, endpoint. Find out the endpoint. And then using the linear array for the rest of it. I think 4, 3, sorry. Yes, to touch. Okay, linear. Yeah, so it's something related. Yeah, related to the function comparing the here the different areas, uh, linear area, or using this entirely. Okay, and finally holding down Shift button, multi selections, this as well. But it's since it is from the linear array, so it's automatically grouped up. So if you don't want that to be continue, you can use the ungroup here, ungroup, or you can use the more data inside. Later I will talk about it. And this one I just delete that, ungroup that. So you see, holding down Shift button, double click for selection, You can directly using here, you directly use this word, click, put. Yeah, directly click and put. And something related to this as well. See, just click and click. But here, in order to let you know something more, you see, this time I don't need to directly to ungroup because, for example, I really want them to have a so-called embed light. Okay, light strip, embed light strip. So still let them to remain in array in the group. Still the connection exists. But this time, double click, you can definitely see I can just control one. I can just control one of the surface, for example, drawing on that, give paving, and all the rest will change exactly the same. For example, this time I definitely use some of the lines to draw. Okay, so for example here, very thin, so let's say 15. Width, just ignore that because it's auto snapped. So once I draw this line, you see everything connected from the linear array, anything array, so still the same. And then you can also change, for example, uh, at this time you don't need to get the extrusion, okay? Or if you insist, give a 2, yeah, very thin, and then give the luminant pattern, luminant light. So we have the material, and then you can give the light, okay? And you see all the rest. Once they connected, you can have click the entity area. Now you have that, right? For the rest part, of course, you can do it, continue to do it. My suggestion, if you want to have the quicker way, you can make it maximally the same. For example, first to use the brush. Yeah, we do have the brush. Get them together, and then you can double click, and then double click again until you can see this. So turn that and extrusion and give the surface. Yeah, I think I it would be better. Is it okay? Is it okay? Yeah, I think uh, kind of scenario will be helpful. The first in my mind is here. Yeah, and of course, don't forget here. I can even get the shrink or bigger. You see, and then don't forget to put in the right position. Yeah, this is in the middle, changing in the middle. So you see. So okay, we use the push and pull. We use the offset, right? And then we use the linear array. The next here, the bevel. Yeah. And I will connect these two functions, sweep, bevel, also along with the offset, and with the, for example, with here even the subtract. Okay, there's also another scenario very frequently being asked. It's about the arc door. Okay, sorry, this door opening, arc door opening. If you want to build up something like that, you got to turn to, for example, floor plan, and then give the door opening. Yeah, give a proper width, the entire proper width. Okay, and the height as well. So, for example, let's get not that big, 1.2 meter, and then height. Let's get 2.6. Okay. Yeah, maybe some of you said, okay, I have the arch here. Maybe I can do like that. But this is not what we are going to talk about. We need some more, the more soft design on the curve. You see here, this is very sharp for the edges. I want to make it also very soft. So turn back to the rectangle. and turn to advance to a custom model. At this moment, my suggestion using a custom modeling is because when you turn to some, for example, the swap model, swap function, or we talk about immaterial component, we do have that function is called here. This is the uh, let me check here for you. You see, this is the loft. You see, okay, the function is called the loft in the material component. For material component, the tool you can't do the loft with the with the arc line, with the curve line. You can't do it. In our tool, the best is still custom modeling to use. Okay, for this tool to use. So first, still using the rectangle, point to point. First, we need to give them back. Okay, and the second, here offset. Okay, this offset is helping us to control the area that change or not. For example, within this shape, the internal shape, it's changeable. It will be deleted. It can be changed, but outside is not changing. The outside area is not changing. Okay, so for example, we have this thickness. Let me borrow. I think it's 240. Yeah, 240. So still, in order to give a proper shape using the offset, uh, at least, okay, you gotta have 120. Let's get it more, 130. Okay, and then here, point to point. Here, you see, actually, it's able to now it's you're able to get it connected. Okay, and then you can have the proper line. At this moment, what you need to do is to use the Boolean 2D, holding down the shift button, but of course it's not entire length. Yeah, number 35, edges, the phrase of the edges 35, chamfer half of it. Okay, here you can see automatically get a midpoint. Here as well, midpoint. And then chamfer push and pull 240. Okay, delete that line that you don't want them to connect. Okay, this of course not. This is the boundary between the flat and then the curve. Okay, so don't touch it. Now you can use, for example, here. Yeah, just now we used the Boolean, but 2D, right? 2D to change. It's easy to understand. But now we have a 3D function, the Boolean 3D. How can we use that? Click. Okay, click the line. Try to click the line. And now you can see here, holding down shift button, you can continue to click. Okay, just ignore some warnings. Yeah, ignore that warnings. And then you can see the radius of the corner. Yeah, so you can have 120 actually because we provide the maximum 130, right? So it's enough. And then the number of symbol edges you don't have to change. Why? Because this time we got a smooth transition. So it will automatically to make it smooth. So just holding down shift button, select all those very sharp edges. Those edges that you want them to be soft, and also pay attention about the bottom. See, you need to make them continue until touching to the ground. So now give enter. Proper, right? And continue here. The same. Click, click, click. Ignore that warning. Click, click. Okay, here as well. Yeah, using your mouse. Okay, holding down your left mouse button to Click right mouse button to change angle, roaming WASD the same. So now click, okay, and you can see, but that's not the end because you use both 120 on both sides. So there will definitely be an additional end area showing like this, but it's fine. Deleting is easy, right? Then finish. Is it okay? Yeah. This function also available if you want to draw the bigger door opening. For example, it's not connected. You have one faces in the horizontal way, still available. The logic is still work. It's okay. Hope that it's help. Hope that it help for you. Yeah. So just now we used bevel, offset, right? And there are more something related, for example, the sweat. Okay, so here I would like to show you with this well, quick way. For example, build up a very rough swimming pool, let's say. For example, drawing with a rectangle, okay, and then click bevel 2D, yeah, smooth the boundary, or you don't have to make that big. And then what you need to do is the rectangle on the surface, drawing the section surface. Yeah, for example, XZ, okay, XZ direction. Uh, I just roughly draw something. And then, of course, here you can continue to draw, even to have the curved boundary as well. Uh, for example, here, I just roughly draw something. Okay, even using the bevel 2D, make it smooth. Yeah. This time, moving to the boundary as well. Actually, I don't need that much, but it's fine. So for example, you can even do like this. Click the surface and then you can, this is the path. Okay, this is the path that related to the swept, the root. And now this is the section surface. What you need to do is just click here and then click the path and then use the swept and click the section, click the section face. And now just waiting for the system to draw out the entire shape. Yeah, because there are so many curved lines, so it will take a little bit longer time, but still you can have the layout. Yeah, you can have the route. This kind of function you can hardly build up in the material component. Yeah, because it is a kind of the route. Just waiting for that. Yeah, during that moment, maybe there are several waiting time because there are massively calculation on the curved surface. So it will take time, but still, finally, maybe you can find a result. It's the calculation amount is very big. So if you don't want to wait, you can click, okay, refresh, but it's fine, it's fine. So still the data there. Continue. Or this time I just limit the size. Don't let them go so extreme. About a bit. About this 2D. 30 enough. Yeah, don't make it don't make it too big. Okay, let's say here click switch. Can enable the waiting. Now it comes. Yeah, you see. And then you can also continually using the function previously we talked about, this connect faces. Now you can see when you put some of the material, you will close it one. Maybe stone is easier to see some of the yeah, continue. And if you find that something is not connected, you can also even change to the sphere. This one, the mapping, change it to the sphere. If you don't want it, just click and unconnect it. So holding down Shift button and let them combine together, it also works. See. So this is something related to that function. Okay. So this is the sweep. Yeah. Just pay attention about the selection. Yeah, you select the first. You select the root, and then you turn to the section. Click the section. Yeah. And something more with more fun here. I just show you some scenario, for example, using that function to create a soft curve. Here we have one called inflate. Okay, here inflate. So let me show you something. Split 5. Split and point. Midpoint and point. You can just take your time to cut them into the different position or using the reference line as well. For example, endpoint to endpoint. Here, click linear. Yeah, our reference line can be also available for linear array. 15 maybe. Yeah, it's fine. After that, you can after finish using, I just type it delete. It's fine. and continue with reference line, point to point. Just put at the join the point. Okay, when to do, just drawing in the 2D to draw out those boundaries. Just pay attention. But the actual lines you can't do. For the actual lines, yeah, you can't directly do it. If you don't want to draw, it's also available to first finish one of the sample. Yeah, finish one of the sample and then to have the array as well. Okay, finish. Clear the reference line. Okay, so here we have some of the demo. Yeah, and then you can use this one here in flat. Click the area, and then you can using this. Okay, changing the inflat to make it with the different. Okay, sorry, here I got the wrong direction. You see, thickness. Of course, it does have the thickness, maybe 10, like that. Yeah, and then after that, of course, if you don't want, you can delete the area. Do that. Also move that if you don't have it. Also here, for example, now you can use the linear. There is a soft curve. The same here for the different directions. Or if you want, you can just, after you finish all the drawing, you can just use the batch selections because this function also allows, for example, to directly have the inflect. That would be the wrong direction. Okay, volume and precision. Of course, smooth is essential. So you have two selections. Either you draw or you draw all the boundaries and then holding down shift button once you get a chance directly to do them all, or you just need to draw one and then using the linear area as well. Okay, so both way you can use it. Yeah, no need to limit yourself. So, okay, so far is okay for you because later I will use some more. Yeah, the calculation between intersect, union, and subtract. Any questions? Make a curved ceiling. So, how is that curve look like? Curved ceiling. In my point of view, I'm not sure if it is suitable for your understanding. The curved ceiling, you can directly actually, okay, here. I think it's a good way to explain to you. Actually, for curve ceiling, you have several ways. You can have several ways to do it. Sometimes no need to use the custom modeling. Yeah, but it's a good question. Okay, so first, for curve ceiling, you can change another thinking. For example, wall editor, using the wall editor, not the ceiling editor. Directly, we draw that curve line. For example, I just roughly draw one to show you line. Yeah, draw something related to the, for example, the section, and then set the extrusion exactly equals to the line. For example, here. Okay, actually I don't need that much. Maybe sometimes even I just need a 7 minute, 7, yeah, meter is fine. So for example here, see, I directly have the curve line. Even this time, you don't have to use the you don't have to use the custom modeling. Yeah, of course, here in the material component, you can also use this. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, but in custom modeling, definitely you can do it. Yeah, I show you one of the very uh, frequently frequently we use this curve shading. For example, to use the still use the arc, or even if you want to use the Brazil curve line, is also available. There's the rectangle, and then the second. Goes out of the curve. Yeah. When you're doing this curve, just pay attention about the line. Okay, it goes smooth, not too big or too small. Okay, here 30 is enough. Delete the useless. Still, the logic is turned back to the section, right? And then using the push and pull. Yeah. And even at this moment, if you really want to have some curve line in the deckers, let's say 1.5 meter of raise, and then even you can use this offset. Let's get a smooth 20 boundary, and then push and pull. For example, short, just 50. Yeah, it's a kind of a gap. It's a tiny gap. Yeah. And then continue, just something related to just now what we talked about. Yeah, the inner here, you can directly give some dark color. For example, like this, the decker surface. Yeah, and then continually click, click, and here. My view, yeah, my preference, duplicate, and here a meter. So, and still empty, right? Click. You can directly drag as well. Yeah. And even this time, you see when you do some push or pull, pushing or pull, you can see when you have already have the existing text, you can first directly click. You see, click the boundary on the same surface. You don't have to remember any distance, any depth, and then continually click for some more. This time 50 again, and then the same. Duplicate 1.5 meter, I'm not sure this is the thing you want, the curved construction ceiling. Yeah, so this will be something helpful. Yeah, maybe for some uh, high-end design or some of the design with the styles, you can use that. Of course, if you want to save time here, holding down Shift button, group them up, and then here, yeah, import to me. Actually, it's mine. Okay, sorry for the the translation. You can just import. Next time, if you want to reuse it, yeah, you can have the saving. And for the further design, just click and use. Say what you need to do is just make sure the size is enough and then put in the right position and bingo. So that's quite easy, right? Yeah, and then of course you can ungroup. Yeah, and also we do have something called the scale. Yeah, move, rotate is easy. For this scale, maybe I can show you. If you want to remain with the ratio, you can use this, okay, the point, and then change. Click to change the size. If you want to make it just in one dimension to get the proper size, using the middle point, okay, using the middle point. So just pay attention here. And even if you want to change in the different dimension, like the mirror, you can put to click the endpoint and then see how it goes with that change. So that's quite easy for creation. Yeah. If you turn to the material component well, it will be quite a lot of complicated things to do. So finally here, uh, we finished the bevel, we finished the offset, region cut. I don't think you need to uh, handle too much because just now you see we got a split, right? Split the length, split the line. And mirror, you see, it's easy to understand. Yeah, just mirror the dimensions. But just pay attention, once you use the mirror, you can delete the previous. Our system calculates it as the duplicate. Yeah, if you don't delete that, you will have quite a lot of components by same with the previous. So it's fine. Yeah, it's easy to understand. We already have this one, and this time we will talk about this. Yeah. The intersect, union, and subtract. First, I will show you the basic logic. Okay, so in order to let you know the this is actually the component calculation, the construction calculations. So first, I draw something for you to let you get a proper understand. Don't forget to holding down Shift button, make it group, and then put it here. Now, what's the relationship between these two basic model, basic component? They are joined, okay? Partly they are joined, yeah, and also with the different area. So here, the calculation, actually you can make it as the model calculation. First, intersect is those area these two share together. So click intersect. Okay, first this one selected, and the second, you see, once you click that, both of them disappear. Okay, this is very easy to understand. What we have, both remains, right? And let me do here. The second union, easier. Yeah, join together a big shape, a big combination. The hardest thing to control is the subtract, meaning that actually you will have part of the area disappear. Okay, it's the extreme challenge, actually even the hardest for today. After finish that, I think you if you want to handle this tool, it will be quite easy. Okay, so here just take a sample, subtract. Okay, the logic is that the first you click will disappear. Yeah, the subtract. The first click, it will disappear. The second will remain. For example, here, first I click here, the the front one, and then subtract, click that. So you see, this means I use the first shape to minus the second one, right? And now change like this. Yeah, something will be within the exact opposite when you change the select order. First, for example, I select the backward, okay, this one, and then subtract the first. So see the result, right? And now it will goes a kind of easy game. For example, for example, this one. What do you think? This kind of a curve, right? It's really smooth, right? Yeah. This is the case the next time when I talked about the creamy style, I will just talk about, you see, yeah. So actually doing this, okay, separate them into two parts. First, here, first is the surface with a normal wall, normal side wall, and then you need to draw by this tool, curve custom modeling. You can't use the material component. It's really, really hard to do that. But in custom modeling, wow, quite easy. Okay, so let me show you this one. So first, let me mark out. Okay, I got to turn back and use the function. For example, select this area. Okay, first mark out this race and even this race as well. Yeah, or later I can use some more different component and make it bigger. Let's say 400. All right, and also this area I need to draw myself. Advanced tool, custom model. Yeah, for the inner decker, for the irregular shape inner decker, you can directly use the here. Um, use niche. Yes. Give a proper depth, 380 or 350. It's fine. Later we will handle about this one. So first we build up the curved beam, advanced tool, custom modeling. Yeah, this will be the combination between the subtract and also Bevel 3D. Let me show you. So first, here, still rectangle. Draw out that XY. Okay. First, draw out the boundary, and also here, but just leave we leave it the same thickness, 400 here. So mark out with the reference line, 400 here. Use rectangle. Sorry, here rectangle. We leave this. Okay. Now we have this curve. I can turn to 3D as well. And then do a proper operation angle. Yep, you see? Still use the 2D bevel. Yeah, remember the number of the similar edge. Turn to 30 enough. Okay, 30 enough. And the chamfer radius, let's turn 400. Not that big. Continually here as well. So also give a proper. At this moment, you can select your preference. It's fine. Yeah, you don't have to stay exactly with the same. Let's say 800. Okay, and now push and pull directly to the ground. Don't forget holding down Shift button, double click, group them. Now this part finished. And the second is the rectangle, drawing a much bigger one. What you need to do is push and pull. Yeah, draw a quite big, but no need to stay with the exact same height. Yeah, make it just exceed the door opening that you would like to maintain. Just exceed the height is fine. So after that, holding down Shift button, double click, but this time don't group. You can use the 3D bevel, remember? Yeah, just now we talked about. Still use, let's say 6. The radius of the corner 6. The symbol of the number of the symbol edge. Pay attention. This time, try to give, okay, try to still give a proper phrase. Okay, although we have small transition, smooth transition, when you turn to the subtract afterward, it will turn back to the very distinct the curve, distinct the phrases rather than a smooth curve. Okay, so just pay attention. For 400 to 800 is fine. Okay, and now with the clicking of enter, now group them. Okay, now group them and then move. Of course, you can change the angle. It's fine. And move. Just make sure it's a proper position. Bring the parts nicely. And then the final step, you know that, yeah, subtract. Don't forget the order. Click and click. And also don't forget here the button. And it's fine. Actually, this is just the result of two big components, right? The result, the subtract result of two big components. And then you can have it. Even this time, you can continue to, for example, give to ungroup, to give the paving, and also for these still the same. Here, this area, what you need to do is just draw. Just don't forget give the height above the ground 350, the height 800, sorry 1.8. And you can continue custom modeling, still the same, but this time, for example, the irregular shape, you can either use, for example, the CAD file import. My suggestion, the best is still the CAD file because you have the irregular curved lines, the free lines. Yeah, maybe if you want to draw, it's really hard to control. My suggestion is to import the cat file. But if you really insist, you can use the zero curve. The same, drawing back. Whatever it goes with the curve, with the doors, with the openings. First thinking is always give them back. Yeah, and then still give the 300, I believe 350. Yeah, give the thickness. Or if you want, you can just, uh, for example, to have here, curve, and now you can get a free drawing. I just roughly draw it, okay? Maybe maybe it's not that smooth. Here you see we get anchor type. This is the directly line angle. Here no mirror, mirror, and the mirror angle. Yeah, most of the time the mirror angle, just free drawing. Okay, forgive my roughly style shape. Okay, okay. Just click back, and then you can turn. You can turn that. You can change the mirror angle. You can add up and give a different shape, different lines. You can also use this to control. You can also use this one to get a free moving. If no mirror, that's free moving. Yeah, you see that dot you can control freely. Okay, I just roughly draw that. Of course, once you click any point, the tether uh, ratio get a 100. It will be more smooth. So this is description. And after that, exit the edit, push and pull. Of course, before that, my suggestion, duplicate one. Okay, give back 349. Yeah, I need the thickness, so 349. And then once you have this, still that's not the end, because for example, I want some more shelves. I want some more shelves onto it. I can continue use this one, for example, to borrow here, push and pull, 30 group, right? And still here, I need the thickness. And here, first, maybe I can draw bigger. Let me check. Yeah, maybe bigger. That's fine. And then linear, click that, linear, three, enter. Now you get this area, right? Of course, that distinct feeling that you can just directly put. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. But my preference, make it more challengeable. I believe you know what I'm going to do. Yeah, using that intersect. What you have, what I have, we put it together, right? Roughly building up things like this. Okay, of course, the things you can continue change that. So finally, finish. And don't forget, entire thing, group them up, duplicate, point to point, finish. Wow, creation. And finally, your challenge. Is it okay? No voice? Still no voice? Okay, so after that, I think I still have two things remain. First is the band here, the past band of band. Another is the scenario model. These things are easy. I think I don't need to worry about that. And also you can, if you want me to create anything, you can also write down in the chatting box and just let me know. I can have a try. I'm not sure if I can 100% to help you to build up, but kind of a challenge. And maybe I hope that I can help you. All right. So finally here for the bending here, um, for bend is easy. For the bending is easy to understand. Let me just give you a correct demo. Uh, Make a challenge. Okay, click the surface. Use the 3D. You see, entire selection or select one or two faces. They are different. Okay, they are different. Just pay attention about it. Um, Also, for example, to group them first, make it longer. See here, we wonder if you want to use the pen. Yeah, you can see the default setting is within a certain direction, which you see here we got a cross. But for the cross, here is not exactly the correct selection. For example, I want here this surface fixed. So when you click that, we get this tool. Okay, this tool is feels like something still in parametric. Yeah, in the parametric function. But this time you just need to control the datum direct directions. So turn to X. Well, it shows at the one of the point, and then you can have the angle. This angle means if you uh, take this one as the zero flat surface, the 20-degree turns to here. If you don't know what exactly it tells, you can directly continue to type in number, for example, 45. See, 45, and it shows the final angle. If you wanted to get really smooth, you can have the overlay segment. See, you can continue using your mouse to roll. Yeah, you can see the maximize is only 32 faces, and you can see here that's smooth. And also another thing is the direction. Zero means nothing, okay? And direction means another another exit in another exit. For example, 45. Okay, 45. See what change? Yeah, it's with a certain dimension going up, right? This is the different angle change. Okay, so how about the using? Sometimes that we like to use this. For example, with the fender. Let's get it out. Distinct 200. 2.5 meter. group them, linear, 350, let's get 15. Okay. Yeah, even groups can be also bent. Same, X, D, see with the round. If we want another direction, minus 50, overlay, so you can see. I know sometimes it will show some obvious design scenario defined in, for example, commercial designing. Then you can use this. Yeah, indeed, it's quite different actually. You can see here. This is, of course, this is different phrases. But if you really want to have one unique geometry, for example, still I show you 7.5 meter, and then here let's say 400 thickness, some of the walls, right? Sometimes if you really find it hard to draw some of the lines with the party of the circle, you don't have to use that much. Yeah, you don't have to use spend that much effort. Why not use the band, right? X plus is here, and then 75 overlay 33, 32 minus 17, see, and then just use like the normal, yeah, like just like the normal models, using like the normal models. Even this happen to when you want to turn to 3D, yeah, 3D text, same, exactly the same logic. Using the band, stay with the X, 0, 90, oh, sorry, 90, see, the same, minus 90, just like this. And also these are those unadjustable. For example, type in the exact content, upload font. If you want, you can upload the font. Yeah, most of the time TTF. And then also you can change with the certain index, size, thickness, even the editable model, convert them into the editable model. Yeah, with the material as well. For example, if you want to convert, then it turns to some normal models. Yeah, and then what you need to do is just treat them as the normal model to give the different material. Yeah, with the different segment, even here to ungroup them, give some more different material, or even luminous manually to give that luminous. Yeah, but most of the time our suggestion is to directly use. Don't change to convert. Don't get it convert. because the model itself it does contain the material setting, the default setting, yeah, with the back surface, front surface, or the side surface. You can use the material to change. Just here, I'll continue to give you another demo. See the material, top, side, back. Yeah, it will save quite a lot of time. Okay, so here's the thing. Hope that it can help. Or if you want, you can also the pass back. So for example, you draw the S shape and then leave the with some more component, and then it will goes along with that. So overall, it's quite of function, quite a lot of function that can help you. The only thing is that if you know how to do it and your imagination, if this so fit to use. Okay, yeah. So finally, this one. Finally, for the part here, I just show you something related to the stairs. I believe you all have the requirements of it using because after seeing some of the models from the public library is not enough for using, this will be extremely good help. Okay, so first, sorry, first, okay, parallel double, okay, double staircase. Just click and then you will see parameter with quite a lot of index. And just pay attention about this, okay? Length, width, height. This is the entire status. It's talking about the entire status. Not the railing is not included. The height railing is not included. Height from ground, and also with a different angle. You see, you can change. And for the object is something related similar to the parametric. Yeah, you can have close, open, see, or floor, different styles, and also changing the direction. See, upstairs location. And also the length 1, length 2, you can have the certain control of the area. For example, here if I change to 2.5, 2150, it will also change with a certain phrases. Okay, width same, changing. Offset, yeah, the offset is the middle area. For example, 150. See it changed. And also still the height is not included, the railing is not included, only the stair surface. Okay, and number of steps here you can change, it will automatically to calculate. Most of the time for indoor using, the proper solution for the proper gap for one step is around 150 millimeter. It's around that 150 millimeter. So if you really want to have use friendly steps, give a proper height. For example, here, yeah. And also we got a cycle. You can see the different cycle. And also once you activate that, you have the cycle height, the cycle thickness, right? Just control accordingly. It's fine, right? Thickness. And then handrail finally. But most of you saying that, wow, it's really ugly to have this kind of the component of the railings, right? It's not looking so good. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Here I show you a way to get a quick creation of like glass. Yeah, the entire glass railing. You can directly use this. Okay, handrail pass you can activate that in order to manually to draw. That's not my suggestion. I don't suggest you to manually draw all these shapes, so many rectangles and then different shapes. You don't have to do like that. Show you one really quick way. First, you got this default setting, like just now we've already um, prepared with some of the changes, and now just duplicate one. Okay, roughly duplicate one, and then first step, disconnect. Yeah, you need to disconnect these two, otherwise whatever you change here, change again. So now turn to the cycle changing. You the previous thing you have is the cycle height. Now this time maximize them to the height of the railing. For example, uh 1050, let's say. Cycle height, click, let me check. Yeah, this one. Yeah, now cycle height goes up, and then thickness, for example, 20. Yeah, everything. Okay, and also this one display, no need to change. You can see if what will happen if you change, it will goes out a bit, right? You don't have to, actually you don't have to do that. And then the second, convert to the normal model. Yeah, and then click empty area. This one, uh it's up to your choice. Yeah, my suggestion, you can convert, but before that, it's time. Why is connected? God, it's fine. 350, it's fine. Convert. Now you have to, right here, since you changed the model into the editable properties, so you can ungroup them. First ungroup, you separate the railing and the step surface. What you need to do is just delete, right? What you need to do is just directly delete, and then copy, point to point here, point to point. Maybe isolate the internal point is better. So do it again. Internal point, yes, inner point, and put it to here. How about that? At this moment, even if you want, you can just directly give the glass, the white glass, give the glass material, and see. Of course, if you want to get a more precise element, you can continue to draw one of the center here. But still, using this is really, really easy now. Otherwise, if you want to draw anything, you need it. First, you've got quite a lot of calculation beforehand. You have all the data and then draw one another to do the linear array. Wow, that's exhausting, right? So these are the using. These all contain with the parameter changes. And this one is a little bit different. Okay, the spiral staircase. If you want, you have one thing called the model effect, the performance and the presentation. My suggestion, presentation first will be very smooth. Yeah, and then the rest just need to click, and then control. Yeah. Sometimes I saw someone using still the same, but they directly use the pen, but it's still almost the same logic. Yeah, you can use either way and change. Just changing the different, changing with the different index, and it's fine. all about is controlling. Okay. Okay, so I think that's fine for the time. We already had that much. Any questions so far? If not, I think that will be the end for today. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Or you have any challenges for me to create? It's a kind of tool that is pretty, quite a lot of fun. Yeah, sometimes I really enjoy the using this tool of creation. Any more questions? Yeah, these are from the SEO uploading, and you can see actually you can use ungroup most of the time, and then move as the status as the normal status unit. But also you can, if you want, you can continue get the editing. Yeah, but most of the time we get a quick model. If quick model will allow you to have easier using, but most of the time I don't suggest you use the um, you use the editing, especially in this surface especially for the loose furniture, because there are so many surface, the calculation surface, and then it will really let your laptop slow and jam even after. So my suggestion, just click and just uh, break that link or ungroup that link, and if material just directly change, even come back to the normal design, you can also use like that. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? If no, I think that's the end for today. Yeah, and hope can see your brilliant work afterward. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah, hope to see you next time. Bye.